welcome back. Once again, I'm back to make another video on how to make a Valentine's Day bookmarker. And this is the sample that I made. I will be showing you on how to make this. This is a really simple bookmarker to make. If you haven't watched my other bookmark video, please, I recommend for you to watch that, because basically in that video it shows you how to make the stitches on this bookmarker. So please watch that video, and if you want to learn more about my channel, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and click on that notification button so you'll never miss a video, because I know you guys will love these activities and you can give them to anyone during these holidays. Like in this case, it would be a Valentine's Day bookmarker. If you know anybody that loves to read, they would love this gift. So today in this video, I will show you how to make them, and please stay till the end and see how it turns out. To make these really cute bookmarkers, there are a couple of materials that you are going to need in order to make these. First of all, you will need a plastic canvas. Now you can find these at any craft store like Walmart, Supercenter. You can find them at Michael's or Joann's Fabrics. They have these in a pack of 6 for about $2 to $3, and I think it's a great price. The other thing you will need is a pair of scissors. You will also need a permanent marker. Now I recommend for you to use a fine point permanent marker. It's a lot easier to trace when the point is really fine. You will also need a sewing needle, and you will also need some yarn. I will be using a really bright pink. And then I will also use a white color in the brand Red Heart. Now I really enjoy using the Red Heart yarn. It's really soft and it's easy to work with. And basically the only thing that you will need is the plastic canvas, and then from that point on it goes really easy. So I'm excited to show you how to get this project going. The first thing that you are going to do is you're going to get your plastic canvas. Now I already cut out a piece of this canvas out already. So if for some reason you want to make your own bookmarker, now sometimes if you want it to be a little bit wider, you could. If you want it more narrow, that's up to you. But since I already went out and cut out a piece of my heart out of paper, and then that would be an easier way to trace it onto your plastic canvas. So basically when you put the heart on the plastic canvas, you kind of figure out, okay, you need so much on this end, you need so much on this side. So as long as the heart is in the center and it's even on both sides, I think that would be the best to go by. So I already cut this plastic canvas out. So then I always recommend to have some kind of protector underneath. In case you work on the tablecloth, you don't want that permanent marker to go onto the tablecloth. So I recommend to use a piece of cardboard, a piece of paper, just to protect it. Okay, so once you have the heart already cut out of paper, then the next thing would be to trace the heart onto the plastic canvas. So with your permanent marker, you're just going to follow the cutout heart, and then if you want to make 2 hearts, you could, like I did. So I made 1 heart here and 1 on the bottom, or you can just have 1 heart and that would be okay. Now if for some reason when you take out this cutout heart and you miss in certain spots, you can just go over it with your permanent marker and just shade it in. That way when you start making the stitches, you're able to see where you started. Okay, so that's how the heart is supposed to look. So the permanent marker is a lot better to work with instead of a pen, because a pen will not mark on the plastic canvas. So a permanent marker is great to use on plastic canvas. So now with my heart that I cut out of paper, I trace it over the plastic canvas and I just follow it all the way to the bottom. Okay, so there is the heart, and then I just go over it a little where I missed and I just fill it in. Okay, so there is my heart. So I have two hearts already. So I have one here on the top and then I have one here at the bottom. So the next step would be to get your yarn, whatever color you are going to use, but I am using this really bright pink for the heart. So I will cut off a little piece of the yarn, and with my sewing needle I will insert it into the eye hole here of the needle, and then I will make a knot at the bottom. Once you have the knot and you have the yarn right through the sewing needle, now what you are going to do, we'll start with the bottom here. Okay, I always like to start on the edges and then work all the way around. Now the best way to do this, instead of starting in the center, I think the best way is to start outlining with the yarn all the way around the heart. So I am going to start here, and I'm going to start on the bottom, and then I will go into the next square and I'm going diagonally. So I would insert my needle underneath, and then this square right here, I will insert my needle there, and then I will pull the yarn. Then I will go not to this square here, but this square, and then I will pull all the way out and go into the other square below it and insert your needle. So this is how it's supposed to be looking. So I have 3 stitches here. So now you just basically follow the line and then go underneath here in the square, pull the yarn, go below the square here from the previous stitch, and then pull the yarn like this. So that's how it's supposed to look. Okay, so now you go into this square here and then go underneath, pull the yarn, go into this square below it, and then pull. Go into the next square, pull, go into the square below it, and then pull the yarn all the way. Okay, so that's how it's supposed to be coming out like this, going upward. So now you're going to curve inward. So you just basically follow the line here where you marked with the permanent marker. Okay, so now I'm just going to show you a little bit more. So now you go into this square here. Then you go below the other square and then you pull like that. Then you go underneath. Then you go right below the other square and go underneath and pull it all the way. Then you go into this square, pull, go right below the other square, and pull until it stops. And then you go underneath, pull, and go into this other square below it. So now it's going to start curving, so you have to go into this square and then go into this square below it. Then you're going to start kind of turning your work here. So now you're going into this square here and go below the other one. And just basically follow the markings that I did with the permanent marker. Okay, so this is how it's supposed to be looking so far. I will come back and show you how I completed the whole entire heart. Okay, I have completed the hearts. So now that I finished the last heart, I would just insert the needle right through the yarn, make a knot, and then with my scissors, I'll cut a piece off of the yarn. So now that the two hearts are made, the next step would be to fill in with the white part. All these little squares that don't have any color, we're going to add that white at the end. So basically I'm going to show you how to make the white part. Now throughout the whole entire project is going to be the same stitch that you'll be using for the heart and also for the white part for the background. So I will get my white yarn, make a knot at the end, and then I will show you how to start it. Now once you know how to do this, it will be so much easier for the rest of the bookmarker. Okay, so the first thing is you always want to start at the bottom here in the corner. Then you go right through that square with your sewing needle and you pull up. You go into the next square above it, then you pull. Now once you have the first two squares complete, you're going to work in the back square. You insert your needle there. Then you're going to go to the square in front of it and insert your needle and pull right through. Now you go to the square in front of it. Then you go to the square behind it. Then you go to the next square and do the same thing. So this is just an easy stitch for beginners. It's so much easier when you're just going back and forth with all one stitch. So as you can see, it's already turning out really pretty. So there is the first couple of stitches that I made, and you'll just continue doing that all throughout the entire bookmarker. The same thing is going to be, it's going to be the same thing as when you fill in the heart. So it's the same step. There's nothing crazy or difficult on how to do this. So that's why I emphasized earlier in the video that to please make sure that you watch my other video on how to make bookmarkers, because on that video it'll show you the same steps that I am showing you right now. Okay, so here, since you already completed the white and then you're going into the pink, then I would just insert my needle into the white yarn there, and then I will just make a knot and cut a piece off of the yarn. Then I will continue with the same steps. So let me start here. I mean, you can start anywhere, but I always like to start at the bottom and work myself up. Okay, so then I go into that. So I have my 2 squares completed. Then I go into this square here, and then I go to the square right below it. Now, because I'm showing you how to do the stitches, it's totally different when you turn it the other way. So you might look at it a little bit different, but basically it's the same procedure on how to do this, the same step. There's nothing different. It just repeats and repeats and repeats. You just make sure you have to go through all the squares. You cannot miss any squares, because then you'll see empty spaces. If you do see empty spaces, then you would have to redo it and start all over. I know it's no fun to make a mistake and then start the whole thing again. It's not that easy. So you always have to be very alert that you don't miss any of these little squares. Okay, so I'm coming here to this last square. There, so I have 2 rows with the same stitch. Okay, so now you will make a knot, because then you will be going to the next row and do the same stitch. I will show you a little bit more on how to do this, and then I will show you how it's supposed to look at the end. Okay, so just go to the next square, then you go back to the first square right below it, go to the next square, then insert your needle on this one, go into the next square, insert your needle there, go to the next square, and so forth. There's so many stitches out there that you can work with plastic canvas, but this is basically a beginner's stitch. That way you guys learn how to do it. Once you know how to do this stitch, then you can advance to the next stitch. But this is really simple. Okay, so I completed here. So I have 3 rows. Once you have that completed, then you just insert your needle into the yarn and make a knot. And then you just cut a piece of it off, just like that. Okay? And let me show you how to do the top piece as well, just to give you an idea. It's basically the same thing. Same step. Okay, the only difference is that it's a lot smaller and it's a reduced space. So basically, like say we start from here. Okay, so start from the point up here. Okay, and then you always start at the bottom. You always go on the bottom and then you pull as you go up. Okay, so there it is. Then you go to the next square below it. Go to the empty square here, pull the yarn and go backwards. Okay, so go back of that square. Then you go to the next square, pull out, go to the square right in back of it. Go to the next square and then go into that other square before that one. And then you go here and then you go back. So there it is. There's that first row. Then we'll continue going here to the next row and then go into that square. Then go into the next one, pull up, and then go into the one below it. And then go to the next square, and then go back. So basically this is forward, going back, forward, back. That's all you do in this project. That's all you do. There's nothing difficult about this. It's really simple. So now I'm going to come here to the end and I'm going to make my knot and then I will finish off here. Okay, so that's how the heart's supposed to be filled in, just like this one here. Okay, the only difference is this one's red and this one's pink, but like I said, you can do any colors that you prefer for Valentine's Day. So this is a really simple project. There's nothing to it. It's really fun to make. And here is the sample I made, and here is the other part, which of course is not complete, but I just wanted to give you an idea on how to make these. And this project is really quick and it's really cute, especially for Valentine's Day. You can make them fancy. You can actually add some little strings here on the bottom. Like in my other video that I made on how to make bookmarkers, I made like little strings hanging down. You can do that, or you can just make it simple like the one I made today. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you really enjoyed it. And so I'm looking forward to all your comments, and please make sure to subscribe to my channel, especially if you're into crocheting and arts and crafts, and I will see you next time. Take care.